retreat with day 3 and our evening session. I'm getting all the notification. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. I will share the links as we progress with the session. Welcome, 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 family. All the ones who are joining on Facebook. Kindly share the link on your pages. You can start. Yes, we are live. Start a watch party from your side to support us, to support the spread of love and light, to support the spread of this cosmic activation on a larger scale. So as a humanity, we can all tap into it and benefit from it. Tonight with me, Mike Yip Fung Wu, and we have a super juicy topic that it is super chilling for me right now because I've always had big issues with money, and it escalated as I started on my spiritual journey and spirituality. Too much of a heavy, dense energy, and oh my God, how I'm gonna do that? And it got really more complicated as I started my healing work, and I was like, how am I gonna ask people for payment, or how I'm gonna have fees for any services that I provide? So it took me a long while to comprehend the energy of money and coming full circle with this understanding and appreciating that it's all happening for the highest good, and it's all for our good, and it's working for us. Everything is a double edge. Even money, even the materialistic life, it is there to support and assist us. But what I find it very interesting is to talk with Mike tonight about the astral travels that he's been experimenting with, and how he has been receiving a lot of messages on the personal level and on the for the collective. So I'm sure he has a lot of juicy answers for us from the astral, and how this astral projection happens, and if we can connect with Mike and how we connect with him to just benefit from his services. So I'm so looking forward, and I'm very blessed. It's day 3. We have 4 more days to go on this cosmic activation retreat. It's been so powerful to feel held, to feel supported, to feel at the right place, at the right time, with all the chaos that's happening around us, just to come back to that center and feel into it, connect to the heart, and open to receive, and allow ourselves to receive. I start seeing beautiful people watching on the YouTube, on the in the Facebook. So please, beloved, you can leave all your questions, your comments in the comment box, and we will share them with Mike. And I can answer all your questions for tonight. Share with your loved ones. It's a very sensitive topic, and it's going to be very interesting to hold the space with my beautiful cosmic family, who I'm feeling their presence in this container. We are held by the divine. Mother Earth's been supportive. Gaia's crystalline grid is holding us. The heavenly grid is holding us. So we are really held, beloved. So just what we need to do is roar that lion, lioness, courageous roar, and just jump, quantum leaping. I'm just gonna bring Mike into the screen, and yes, so you can introduce yourself, Mike. And I'm actually, my heart is with my little girl. She's wanting to come up here. I will invite you in. Meanwhile, I'll be gone for 1 minute.
Your sound is gone, Era.
Yes. Yeah, I'm just muting myself for 1 minute and give you time to just introduce yourself to our family, and just share a little bit about the juiciness of tonight's session.
Super, thank you very much. So hi everybody, my name is Mike Wu. I'm a success coach, I'm a day trader and a light worker like many of you, and I'm also an astral traveler. And I will tell you more about it in the session that we are sharing today. But first of all, I want to thank you so much. I'm super happy and grateful for being here live with you guys through the different channels all around the world. really makes my heart sing to be here with you and to have the opportunity to share my own experiences. And I've prepared some stuff for you guys. And normally, and it's a good sign, I'm quite used in doing the cold business down to earth stuff. And this time I felt it was really special. And I also feel a little tingling energy all over my body, a little bit goosebumps. So that means that the vibration is really high. And I'm really excited and looking forward also for your questions and all the things that you want to know. I'm really open to share with you guys because it's an interactive session. And for those who are tuning in, from the recording side, you can find my website or social, whatever. You can send me a message or through Era, and I will surely answer all your questions. So I will talk about astral traveling on one hand. On the second hand, also what I experience in daily life, in environment. It's not only for light workers, but people ask me how to integrate abundance in a 3D life. And especially as light worker, as Era said in the introduction, it's not always easy to combine on one hand financial abundance, money, on the other hand, spiritual awakening and consciousness. We will talk about that during this session. So a little bit about me. I'm Asian, as you can see, Chinese roots, 40 years young or old, almost 41, in 11 days. Because by then it will be 111 days that I'm doing my astral traveling. I have been doing it for every day since the past 100 days. Today was day 100, so really special. I'm together with Bridget. Bridget is a spiritual healer, accelerator. And if you look at how our lives have been combined, my personal spiritual awakening began some years ago when my best friend actually passed away. I was in a transformational training and coaching. And that was the first time almost 10 years ago that I had my first out-of-body experience and also witnessed how you can actually go out your physical body and allow your energy body to travel around. But due to personal reasons and different things that happen through life, I haven't been practicing that anymore. But the last past years, and especially together with Bridget, we did a daily heart opening meditation, highly recommended. And she's also a channeler, channeling Elohim and Saint Germain, so the violet flame, you all know that. And it really allowed me to center myself, combine, and has made my own spiritual growth, a huge acceleration the last 12 months, the minimum. And since almost 4 months ago, we actually practiced about astral projection, astral traveling. And this is how the whole journey started. So I have this beautiful booklet and I will share you some of the highlights and insights that I have been experiencing the past few months. And it's really something amazing. I'm really grateful for that because you have on one hand some personal answers and personal insights that you can become, but also questions and insights for the greater good, for humanity. And of course, one of the topics is around financial abundance. So that's a little bit in a shortcut. For the rest, we have 2 children. Lisa, she's almost 13 years old. Liam is 11. And they are also integrated in our spiritual journey. So Lisa is also seeing the unicorns, and she also received very beautiful messages from Mother Earth. And she also started her own podcast around that. It's not 100% in English yet because we are in Belgium, in Europe. We're Dutch native. But inviting you all to tune in. So that's a little bit the introduction, Era. Oh, your sound.
Okay, so I'm saying it's wonderful to integrate the kids in the spiritual journey and this quick acceleration and expansion within their consciousness. I've checked out Lisa's podcast. Such a beautiful, soft energy she has, and I'm sure we are all heading into that right place for each one of us. And I know that we all astral project in the night. So when we sleep, we leave this body, but we are most of the time are not aware, and we think we're dreaming or we're just having nightmare. But that astral projection is a part of our who we are, and like the body kind of knows it. But once we consciously tap into it and we ask the questions, are very precise with the questions, I think the answers will always come. And I'm so looking forward to hear all the juicy answers about this financial abundance for light worker because it
Okay.
seemed the whole humanity is awakening to become light workers, and everybody they're doing their own share of this divine service. And I'm noticing how the paradigms around money and finances is collapsing. So
True.
if you have any insights on that, please share with us.
Yes. All right. But first, let me allow me to share some highlights of the journey, and it's correctly. So, our ancestors and all the different generations before us in different religions and also in spiritual realms, we forgot as modern humans, we depend so much on technology that we forget that we are star seeds and we have the ability to astral project. So all of us are capable of doing it. It's all about practice, creating more consciousness, and one part is also breath work. So one of the things that I found, besides the financial part, is, to be honest, I didn't know something that's called Akashic Records. Many of you guys know, but when I shared one of my first experience during the astral projection, Bridget said, "Okay, you went to the Akashic Records," and then I was like, "Okay, what's that?" So so what I found out, the dog is moving, so it's good. The energy, she or she feels it. So you have on one hand your personal records, but you also have the records of all that is. So, and that's really, really amazing that you can set your intention and that you can go in and actually tap in. So one of the things that I actually tried or discovered is on Akashic Record, of course, all around star systems and planets, other consciousness all around, because I have been seeing that during the heart opening meditations. I'm quite visual, while Bridget is more auditive and kinesthetic. So this combination is really, really strong. But also how the soul can enter your body. So I've experienced like 9 months in the womb of a woman, and how actually, this interaction of love happened, and when the soul actually entered, and after some weeks actually activates the whole cell and actually, kind of fueling and energizing this little vessel to become this body for the soul to live in and to work. So that's really beautiful. What is happiness, for instance? And the book of happiness, visiting different sacred sites, how to have stargates and how to activate them. The book of Christ, your personal purpose, but also the purpose of humanity, visiting past lives and future lives. So all those little things that you can imagine, experience through the astral, because there's no time, there's no space. Why should you travel all around the world, take all the planes and pollution, if you can do astral traveling, if you can astral project? So I highly recommend everyone to try that. And if you need some support or want some guidance, feel free to reach out to me and I will share, certainly.
That's exactly what's coming to me. How about we sometime in that very near future, we can have a session with you and feel into it, and if you're up to guiding us, so that we can feel for ourselves and try to experience and like expand on it, because you've been doing that for a straight 100 days, and I'm sure you've learned the ins and outs and all the shortcuts maybe. So looking forward to such a exploration. Actually, it's very deeply healing. You're talking about how you visit the Akashic record in astral. I'm an Akashic Records practitioner, and I do that intentionally. And when I do my practices, it's a simple meditation for me. But there has always been a question in my consciousness. There must be another way to visit the Akash and get all the answers, because what I've learned from books, I've learned from people's protocols or teachings. But I knew deep inside of me there's still a way to reach the Akash and receive the answers needed, whether personally or for my clients. And I'm really now onto this astral projection, and I'll be the first to explore more on this. I'm gonna find our friends on Facebook who are watching right now. Share, and leave all your questions and comments for Mike and myself. And we are here just offering everything from that space of the love, and it is interested in divine service. So go ahead, Mike. And yes, we had an affirmation from Bella just as you spoke, and now she's asleep. So she just gave her blessings. We're in a good place.
Super. Thank you so much. So today's topic is regard to abundance, and especially in our lives as light workers. So many people struggle with the question like, is this compatible, or how can we achieve it if we're not there yet? And one of the questions that many times pop into mind is like, is it okay for a light worker to be wealthy in life, as reference in our 3D life, like to be rich, something like that? But the answer is already there. The answer is already yes, a very, very, very big yes, because we are already wealthy and we are already rich. But our definitions in the current reality, and especially in the Western world, has been changed during the times, because many people have the limiting belief, as we call that, that spirituality on one hand is not mixable, of not compatible with money or wealth or whatever, or being rich. Okay, so let me explore a little bit on this topic, because money is something good if you're doing something good with it, and it's something spiritual. And this is something that I also experienced during my visit in Akashic, and I will come to it a little later on that. But let's elaborate a little bit on this topic, or on the spiritual side, and on wanting wealth. So lucky for us, for all of us as human beings, in fact, we already know that when you create money consciously, if you work for it, or if you rent service for it, you can actually receive it back. It's a kind of frequency. Okay, so it's a frequency that comes to you, and most important, that it wants to stay with you, so you can actually do something good with it. So it's really important that we all are creating some kind of energy, or some kind of energy wave, allowing the wealth or abundance entering into our lives. But secretly, sometimes due to our growing up, maybe the things that our parents told us, maybe due to our education, we sometimes feel we need to keep that from a distance. It's not meant to be, it's not for me, or I have enough, or I'm not deserved to have abundant or wealthy life, etc., etc. And some people might even experience some guilt feelings when they are making a lot of money, because at the end you should look in the modern times, because before people were exchanging stuff, right? I give you an egg, you give me massage, I give you a chicken, you cook something for me. So in the modern worlds, we actually learn that the piece of paper, or on the digital side, it's just ones and zeros, what is actually money, and somehow we associate it with wealth and with rich and whatever. So on the practical side, we all need, from the current side, money. Maybe in the future it will change, because the whole financial system, I'm also a financial coach, is changing heavily now. The 2008, 2009 financial crisis has led to many changes in the world. But now with the pandemic and federal banks who are pumping like trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars and euros in the system just to maintain it, means that the system as we know it today is on the verge to collapse. So within 5 or 10 years, there will be another system. Maybe it's digital money, maybe we'll do some exchange, but there is a better system that we need. But at the moment, many people feel that, okay, it's only for a small part of the world that can achieve this part of 3D abundance, read money. But that's not true, because if you look around, there is enough for everyone. It's like water. The earth is covered like 70% of water. And as I just said, they are printing money like crazy. So it's everywhere. So it's all around us. So what we need to do as a collective is just to find ways, one hand, to support each other, to see through that there is enough for everyone, also for me. And secondly, to firmly believe that we can attract that in our lives and to keep that in our lives. So those are the two first steps to take. So I have created like 4 steps that I want to share. I've wrote it down here. So just let me share with you guys. So first of all, what I started with is like, we are all spiritual beings. So automatically we are completely abundant. So that's the first supporting belief that we all should have. So in other words, our spirits are already ready to be wealthy, also in this lifetime, in this 3D lifetime. So when I visited for my own timelines, I had one like, you know, literally like multi-millionaire, whatever. And on the other hand, the normal life, and on the other hand also. But all those are the same. So it doesn't matter. It does not matter what's on your bank account, but it's on your spiritual side. Because if it's already here, then you will notice maybe you don't have, on one hand, the material stuff, or maybe the means to invest. You will attract people into your life who will support you to realize your project, to realize your divine higher meaning to support humanity. And that is with everyone that I've been talking to is the case. So that's one, because your spirit is your highest and your truest aspect of who you are. It's all about love. It's all about peace. It's the truth. It's fulfillment. And it's all about bliss. So do you really think that this part is also identified by being poor? No way. It's being identified being wealthy. It's all here inside of you. When you were born, when we were born, we were full of light, and actually that's our wealth. So what happens when we grow up, when we grow in this 3D world and going to school and sometimes watching social media or whatever? It's our ego, right? It's our ego who's actually trying to put us down, and our ego feels small. And that's why it needs like confirmation. We want this huge house or car or career, maybe a huge bank account, whatever. But if we are aware of that, we can actually work on that and be conscious that it's all okay. So we don't need our ego to be in the way. That's also the part of the awakening of this community, but also in other bubbles and groups, that we see that the new generation and people like you on a call finally realize after the whole pandemic stuff, like, hey, do we not need all those luxury stuff? People didn't travel for 3 months. People didn't go to restaurants for 3 months. People didn't go to hotels and I don't know what. But some part of the people, they are still stuck to the old paradigms. They're like, oh, I want to be stuck in a traffic jam. I want to have stress for my work. I want to make this career because I want to earn, I don't know how much money. But if you look really closely into your heart, this is the opportunity of a lifetime to really allowing the spiritual being inside you to fully unlock and to enjoy life as it is given to you from the beginning, without all the extras. I call them like the cherries on the cake because, you know, I also sometimes go on restaurants and holidays and with the kids and the family. That's really nice. But that's not the essence of who we are and why we are here. So that's the first part.
So it's got to start with acknowledging that I am already wealthy and my
Yes.
understanding of wealth, it has been compromised. So I better go back and acknowledge that I am wealthy within, and wealth is not money.
True.
And that it just rolls from there.
Fully.
And money is going to come to my service at the right time for me, for my spiritual
Yes.
growth, for the service of a humanity, for my comfort. I deserve comfort, but I just have to start with shifting my mindset around
Exactly.
wealth and money and attracting it.
Fully good summarize, Era. It simply means that money is a tool. So it will allow you and help you and the people all around you to have several life experiences, serve your community, your family, and others. So it means that it's not the answer to everything, but currently we need them. In the future, maybe it's something else, but it's not useless. So it means that it's a resource that gives you the opportunity to change many people's lives. And if you don't have it now, it's already there. You will see if you're opening your heart and your consciousness, it will come one way or another. And I'm certain that you have heard many of those stories all around you. Just tune in and connect with those people, like, yeah, how they realize the project and how they actually attract this to serve a greater cause. Because if you are on that vibration, on that higher frequency, it will always come into your way, and it will be fully aligned, completely aligned to a spiritual life. So
And
that's
that's
the first thing.
exactly where we're at. We are 15 cosmic healer working on this activation for ourselves, for humanity. And it had to start from that place of giving in divine service rather than in comparison, or what's in it for me, what am I getting out of that. What I
Yes.
might get out of that, a lot of people who are on the journey to healing, who are connecting from that space of the heart. I might get a few referrals for a healing session. You might get referrals for financial advisory. So we are gonna get what exactly meant to come our way when we just venture from that space of the heart without
True.
already having an agenda, a
Yeah.
preset agenda, you know. And this is where we're heading, and it's so beautiful, Mike, isn't it, to see like everybody
Yes.
coming and, you know, sharing for hours from that space of the heart their own heartfelt experience. And that's the wealth we're talking about.
Fully agree. Fully agree. And that brings us to the second part that I actually found out is that due to the ego, we actually attach some feelings, ideas around wealth and money and stuff. And it's exactly what you say, because if you look at from a neutral standpoint, it's energy neutral. So it's the energy that behinds, and the money in this case, that counts. So money itself isn't good or bad. It's not consciously making some decisions on its own, right? It's the people with money or receiving the money, they are making the conscious choice. So it's really important to acknowledge and to realize, like, what's the energy behind it. We have the power and the light to choose how we use the money. And this will determine whether it feels good or bad. So what I'm saying here is that money made at the expense of others feels really tainted because it's energetically used. It's an egocentric, a selfish way. And many people around, unfortunately, if you look around, there are still a big part that's happening this way. So there's a lot of ego and the energy is not good. But when you have money that is made in a way that really serves people, that serves community and humanity, it feels good because it's energetically used in a positive and a loving way. And I'm fully certain that many of you have those experiences in your families, in your friends, or even in your companies or society, that it's more and more coming to this positive and this loving way. And this is the way forward because it's your personal actions, what you do, that will determine what money will become. It's an extension of your personal energy, of your own vibration. So the way you use or you choose to use your wealth is ultimately determining the vibrations that it carries. So that's one of the things that allow us to, making this to a next level instead of just, some people like, I have a lot of money, I just sponsor good causes and stuff. It's not about that. It's the whole journey towards that. It's the whole collaboration. It's the whole attracting, it's the whole vibration. So that's the second part. Then, if you know this, can you imagine? So if you just close your eyes for like 5 seconds and you just tune in, and if you have just heard what I said, that it's your intention and the vibration that you bring into this wealth and how you use it, it's the energy behind. So can you imagine a world while the majority of the wealth and the richness is actually in conscious hands? So people who are here, who are open, who are awakened, and who want to do good. I had some interesting talks with some friends and also people in my professional network. It's like, on one hand, people are more and more aware what's going on in the world. It's a wake-up call. The pandemic, it's not a coincidence. The nature is calling out. Mother Earth is calling us out. So on the other hand, we're trying to save it from our classical way of thinking, meaning the banks, the politicians, the people with power are just using money, but on the wrong side. They are just printing money. They are just trying to save the economy and all those stuff instead of changing it, instead of making it more inclusive, instead of making it more sustainable. Okay, so can you imagine that at some moment of time, the tipping point, the balance will change because our children are the new future for the new earth. They are the future leaders. They are already awakened. They go on the street, they march for a greener world. They know that we need to connect to each other, that we need to open up our hearts and our minds. So if they have the possibility to use their wealth for the greater good, so it could actually have like how do you call that? The examples that we can say, instead of just building these huge buildings and all those luxury stuff, you know, just for marketing purpose, if we could really use it to help the nature on one hand, on the other hand, maybe to exclude poverty on the other hand, to bring education to many parts of the world, to do some spiritual and light work, to make people more conscious, to have more love instead of war. All those things that currently is not happening, but we see a shift coming up. We see a shift that people are not accepting the status quo. We are not here, we're not born just to go on a job 9 to 5, make a living, you know, watch TV, have some holidays, and then get sick or die. We are here for a higher cause. So one of our missions is to share this message also and share this energy. And it starts with us. It starts with us when we have this opportunity to encounter people. And I'm really full of, and because there are good examples like the Giving Pledge. So 50 of the most wealthy people in the world, the billionaires like Warren Buffett, Ray Dalio, and Bill Gates, and some others, and Mark Zuckerberg, they have the Giving Pledge. So they are giving 50%, not Jeff Bezos, so the boss of Amazon, he's not there yet, although he's the richest guy in the world, but his ex-wife, McKinsey Bezos, she also had the Giving Pledge. So they say like money is the tool. They have like billions. 50% of their earnings, of their income, they are actually sharing it for a greater good. Is it for finding a vaccine against HIV or COVID or whatever, building schools, cleaning up the ocean and all those stuff. So my invitation to all of us in this call, including myself and in my bubble and network, is you don't have to look to the people who are already on a 3D level, like they have the big bank account, whatever, but everything that we have in time, in resources, in love, in also in money, if we can spend part of that also giving back for the greater good, we can already make a huge difference. That to me is also like consciousness in wealth and sharing. So that's the third one.
I'm gonna interrupt you for a second here. You said that quite a lot of the wealthy people, which also we see in the news and wherever, that they donate to charities or poverty or doing this and doing that. But if you look at it at the bigger scale, Mike, I still see poverty there. I still see the oceans polluted. I see still the Mother Earth depleted. But again, we cannot fall for what we see. Or be skeptical about it. All what matters, as you said, the next part of your conversation is we take responsibility on the individual level to just start from the resources we have. To start considering sustainable living for ourselves, and the more people go into sustainable living, the less pressure we put on ourselves to generate money and to deal with money and to get into whatever luxurious life we just had before. It just has to set the intention and act upon sustainable living.
True.
And you said also imagine a world with the money is in conscious hand. Mm-hmm. There was a beautiful message that I recently read about Saint Germain, beloved Saint Germain, and how much he is going to be a big part of the consciousness shift on within humanity, because he is coming with another incarnation for us in this new earth, and he's going to be one of the wealthiest beings on earth, and he is gonna, steer the wheel for the financial shift, financial consciousness shift for humanity.
Wow.
And when I tapped into that message, it really resonated so well, because he had served the humanity throughout the aeons, and he is coming big. And we've all been showered by the violet flame lately in a way or the other. So may he shower his violet flame on our financial situation.
Yes.
and give us a lot of guidance on that.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you for adding this, because when you have this wealth and you have the resources, you can reach out and help many. And it's exactly what you say. What we sometimes see at this moment, it's a little ripple effect in the water. It's all the little steps. So we are shifting the timelines also for Mother Earth, but also from humanity. And that's why the people in this call also invite you to reach out and share this and spread this message to as many people as you can. Because on a fundamental level, to me, this is exactly what spirituality is all about, is helping and serving others and giving back. If you give back more, I'm fully confident that you will receive and get also from the universe. And this is actually on my personal growth. It's what's happening. If you look at, the last 12 months already, it's amazing. And I'm fully confident that all of us are capable of doing that. Because, and that's actually the final part, is that, the fourth one is when we realize and we're conscious about that and about the energy and all the resources that coming directly and indirectly coming to support us, is we're actually on the verge of going or creating a new earth, right? So the new earth, we have many books and many spiritual teachers and people talking about. So what I have seen and what I've read is that actually it's already there. So no matter what, if we as humans will work proactively with politics, with decisions, with power, or not, sooner or later, Mother Earth, the universe will bring us to that. The only thing is, will it be a smoothly transition or will it be a hard one? Okay, so those are the two things. But at the end, it's about balancing all the resources and usage, as you said, Era, of all the goods and all the means that is available to us in this lifetime, but also for the generations to come. We are part of Mother Earth. We're like an organism that's, like the animals, like the plants, like water, like everything. We're a part of that and connecting with all our beings towards the universe. So the most important thing I believe is the message is, okay, we have now experienced one of the worst situations of humanity. I think it's now 16, 17 million people who got this disease. And even if we have a vaccine, we don't know what the future will bring. But the invitation to all of you is like, okay, if I look back the last 3 to 6 months, do I really need to have my lifestyle as it is today? If you look around where you live, and I also discussed this at home, actually, we are like in the lucky 5%. We have space, we have gardens, we have our cars, we can actually eat, travel. We don't have any of all those worries, in daily life. And that's not logical, because only 5% of the whole human population, they actually use like 85 to 90% of all the luxury stuff in the world. Do we really need all those extras to be happy, to be fulfilled in our lives, right? Like the joke, like, hey, do you need to go to travel 4 or 5 times if you can still travel, right? But also the overconsumption. If you think about it, is why do people are attracted into this rat race? People feel depressed and people sometimes get lost in the darker side, because they are always chasing the material stuff that's been projected from the marketing and the corporations, because they want to ensure their profits. If you look at social media nowadays, but also on the advertisement on Facebook and stuff, it's like you need to have this ideal, perfect, relationship, and even your house and all those material stuff. So the question that we should ask ourselves, and also if you have children, to be very open and to talk about that, because it's not something that we teach on educational level. At school, we are taught to be workers, right? And to be striving forward to make career, to earn money, to have a good pension funds, all those kind of stuff. But we're not taught to be ourselves, to be our truly self, to find our purpose, what we are doing here, and how we can actually serve our families, our community, and on a high level for society. So what I have seen is that in the future, and it could be a near future, we will going back more to basics, closer to nature, building local communities, of course, usage of technology, but stimulate the local economy. Think about it. We have now ships, moving parts. You order something from Amazon, even in the States, we're in Belgium, in Europe. In 3 days, it arrives here. Can you imagine the ships and all the fuel and the pollution in the oceans and all those stuff? Do you really need to order those I don't know what from Amazon in a warehouse in the States? Can't you, get this from the shop just around the corner? Or do you need the bananas really from Brazil? You can have bananas even from, Spain is already far. Okay, you can have bananas from France, it's close to Belgium, or maybe the city around you. Maybe in some seasons, you don't need to have strawberries, because if go to the retail shop, we have everything is available, and we need to be aware of that. We need to be conscious of that. Is that it's all luxury. We don't need that. We don't need all those stuff because we have everything within us. And during this pandemic, social distancing, we cannot hug anymore and kiss anymore. Those are the fundamental things of richness and wealth. When you hug your children or your best friend or your mom or your grandma or even your dog or your cat, you feel unconditional love. If you are open and if you're conscious to that, that's the biggest wealth that you can have. And while I'm saying this, I don't know if you guys see this, I get goosebumps all around. It's like 40 degrees. I'm like dying in my sauna. But saying this to you guys live and even through all the means, it's like, this is a true message. We are already wealthy. We are already rich, right? All the things that come together will bring us peace, love, life, and prosperity. And if we touch one human being, our partner, our children, or whatever, and if we all do this, we can actually touch the whole earth. I'm fully confident of that. So that's out of 4 parts. Yeah.
Wow. Could you just summarize them quickly, like title?
Yes. So the first is that wait a second, something is blocking on my screen. Oh, something is popping. I have so many pop-ups here. Do you still hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. We're here.
Okay. So first of all, our spiritual being is automatically wealthy. So our spirit is already wealthy. So that's one thing. Our spirituality is about expansion, and so is money. So the second thing is about money is energetically neutral. So it's really important that the energy behind that counts, is the people, or when you attract that, what you do with it. Okay, so that's the second thing. And the third thing, if you know that energy and the intention is really important in wealth and wealth distribution, the third thing is that we all can contribute to a world that the majority of this wealth is distributed by people who are consciousness awakened, who will do this for the greater good. So that will be leading to the fourth one, is creating this new earth, that we actually create these local communities, that we get closer to nature, that we use this wealth wisely, not abuse, not overuse, but combining this with technology, literally, but also on the spiritual side, with our local essence of who we are and going back to the nature. So those are the 4 elements.
Wonderful. I want to add my own personal experience with sustainability, which is still primitive, but the joy I feel from picking up my fresh vegetables from the garden, which is this tiny, but everything is growing in there. And how when I look at my plate, I get all the veggies that are so fresh and organic and tended with love, and how they are really of the highest vibration possible food and prana that you can take. So just being sustainable, it's such a joy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
You
we
just
can
said
get
that.
started there. We can get started there.
Yeah.
Start growing our own, and work with the community and the local community around us. Being in the village here, it taught me really how to support the people around, and they come around selling their extra vegetables or grains or whatever fruits they have, and it's really as you grow when you become a part of a community where everybody is supporting each other. Again, we go back to being so intentional without the need to compare. No
True.
comparison, no comparison whatsoever. Just be in that moment, be generous with yourself and with nature and with the people around you, and the abundance will flow.
Yeah. True. So allow me to share some abundance affirmations as a closure for the session. I have 7 of them, and it has served me very, very well. Okay. So I would invite you to fully relax and close your eyes. And you just feel you're fully present in the session live, or when you are tuning into this recorded session. Just relax, close your eyes, put your arms aside, and breathe in and breathe out. Let's do it a couple of times. And breathe out. And you breathe in. And you breathe out. And I invite you to put one of your hands close to your heart. And you feel your heart bouncing. It's fully relaxed. And your other hand on your belly. Okay. I will now read out loud some abundance affirmations that will serve you as it has served me. And I invite you, while feeling your heart and your belly, to repeat it loud after me. Okay. I am a magnet for joy, love, and abundance. Very good. The second one. I am open and receptive to all the wealth life offers me. Very good. I am surrounded by wealth. There is enough for me and the world. Excellent. I am a good person and I deserve prosperity. Very good. My success is necessary for the greater good. I live an abundant life. Feel it. And finally, all my dreams are coming true. I'm so happy and grateful. Namaste. Thank you so much. And spread and share the message.
The affirmations are very beautiful, and I'm sure they come at the right time for all of us. And the question that just got into me as you started with the activation, with the affirmations, since we have called this retreat the cosmic activation retreat, what have we activated today? where should we bring our consciousness and attention and awareness today after this session, so we can embody it more, since we are cosmically affecting everything, activating, I mean, everything around us. So where should we bring our consciousness today from your session?
That it's already done. The life we want, the life we dream of, it's already here. And through this week, through all the connections and all the work that we are doing, to fully allow this and feel it in every cell, in every molecule, and fully live it, and share this joyful message to people around us, to people we care of, and just be.
And just be. And just be. And as an affirmation to the activation, since yesterday there has been a lot of drumming and kind of spiritual practices happening in the temple near my house, and the powerful activation's been really opening up the portal. It is already open, and we're receiving the abundance through the lion gate, and it is the abundance of the stellar stars and awakening our connection to that abundance, that wealth within us. And it's just everything is in synchronicity and it's in divine design that it's happening. I will advise all of the beautiful ones on Facebook, if you have any question for Mike before we conclude the session, so please feel free to drop in the comment. And I've shared in the comment your contact and your Facebook, so people who are resonating with the offerings, they can connect with you and they can benefit from your wisdom, especially your astral travel. And yeah, let's get on some meditations together.
Let's do that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I will just I missed sharing the video at the beginning. We made this very beautiful video for to capture the energy of the retreat. I will show it now, and that meanwhile, if anybody's got a question, we can just share it. We can answer. I'll just take a minute to just play the video, and it's a very powerful download, the poem that came and the music that put together, and I'll hope you guys enjoy it. So, as we say, it's all entrusted in divine service and offered with blessings and grace. Before we close with you, Mike, there was a comment and a question, and I hope we can give some insight to Risha. She's saying, can you guide how do we know we are making the right intention consciously for anything we are to manifest? Example, money, health, relationship, which all deal in a human experience. How do we make the right intention, the conscious intentions? That's what she's asking.
Oh, that's an excellent question. I personally believe there is no good or bad, but it depends on where you want to put your focus in. So when you manifest, how to put this intention is to make it neutral without any feelings or thoughts or everything inside it, but just leave it out as it is. I think that's the best way. If you set expectations, if you have some hopes or desires, just let them flow in, but set it aside. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's, we know when the intentions are coming from the inside. When the
Exactly.
clutter, the chatter of the mind is in the way, we also know.
Yeah.
Beloved family, we come to you tomorrow with day 4. How exciting! Another 3 beautiful sessions tomorrow, starting at 11:11 with Sophia and activating the liquid light body. In the afternoon at 4 p.m. with Denise Devlin and a wonderful channeled meditation with Saint Peter. And in the evening, we have another financial advisor who will also share her thoughts on how to become a lightpreneur and how to live a life of abundance and balance. Looking forward for tomorrow's session and looking forward to see you all. Facebook family, spread the love and light, share, share, share. We are here to hold this space with you and for you. Mike, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Have a nice, nice rest of the day. And the rest of you have a nice morning wherever you're at, and evening my time. So I will enjoy the rest of my evening. And we'll see you tomorrow.